16万买的电动车新能源，现在还值多少钱？
I bought this electric car for $160,000, an EV registered in 2024. How much is it worth now? This is what? Skyworth, 400-kilometer range, a 2024 car. How much is it worth now, bro? Let me show you what it means to lose everything, bro. It has all the features: fridge, TV, big sofa. Ah, isn't this what you like? You tell me, after a year, how much is it worth, brothers? I'm asking you, would you sell it for $40,000? It's all original, one-owner car. So tell me, bro, what were you thinking when you bought this car? How do you feel now? Do you think this car is worth it?
I want to cry, but can't.
Ah, there's no place to cry, brothers.
This is the consequence of supporting domestic brands.
This is new energy for you. Are you the chives?
Definitely a chive.
I wouldn't even take $40,000 for it. The key is, I wouldn't dare. In a recent video, the presenter shared that a Skyworth EV purchased for 160,000 yuan last year is now worth only 40,000 yuan. The car owner lamented that they were chives, meaning just another victim in the market. A female influencer also commented on the significant depreciation of EVs, noting that nearly all of them has seen their value cut in half, with resale value so poor they are hard to even look at.
Now, this Ideal One, once a legendary car, now the L Series guinea pig, immediately discontinued after release. Back then, it cost $350,000 to $360,000. Now it's $150,000, a direct cut in half. Then there's that Zeekr 001, replaced with 3 new versions in 1 year, and now it's offered with a 20% discount. And the Xpeng P7, once widely popular, almost 300,000 yuan when it was hot, now priced at a flat 100,000. The rolling version of Porsche Cayenne, it's basically an intelligence tax. Nearly $1 million when new, now it depreciates by 30% in just a year. The Neo ET5, now at a 40% discount of the new price, and that EC6, which cost over 400,000, has now depreciated by over 90,000 in a year. Then there's the WM motor vehicle. It's beyond help. And its second-hand market? Forget it. And this BYD Han. When it first came out, it cost over 300,000 yuan, and now you are just trading in your phone number for that car. Finally, the Mercedes EQ series, with discounts on new cars, but no one buys them, let alone those already on the road. In just 2 years, it's worth a third of the original price. They always say EVs have poor resale value, but I didn't expect it to be this bad.
Additionally, an industry insider shared a striking message, claiming that the resale value of electric vehicles may now be even lower than that of smartphones. To illustrate, they stated that if you purchase an EV for 300,000 yuan, after 2 years, you might be able to sell it privately for around 150,000 yuan, while dealerships would offer 10,000 to 20,000 yuan less. This means a car could lose 150,000 yuan in value within 2 years, essentially wiping out more than half a year's salary. Many people argue that EVs are now evolving so rapidly that they now resemble electronic products, if not surpassing them in obsolescence. In other words, cutting-edge features such as laser radar systems or advanced chips introduced today may become outdated in less than a year. This shift calls for a new approach to car ownership. EVs are no longer durable goods meant to last 10 to 20 years, but rather consumer products that require replacement every 3 to 5 years. Over the past few years, China's EV industry has expanded rapidly with government backing. However, reports indicate that EV prices have dropped by an average of 18,000 yuan, fueling widespread market debate. The price war in China's auto market remains intense, with 2024 witnessing the largest price reductions in 3 years. According to Cui Dongshu, Secretary General of the China Passenger Car Association, as of the end of 2024, price cuts had affected 227 models, surpassing the 148 models in 2023 and significantly exceeding the 95 models in 2022. First Financial reports that the average price reduction for EVs in 2024 is 18,000 yuan, a 9.2% decrease, while traditional gasoline vehicles saw an average reduction of 13,000 yuan, or 6.8%. Notably, EVs are now seeing greater price reductions than their gasoline counterparts, making them subject to what some call an IQ tax. Morgan Stanley's latest reports suggest that EVs priced in China could drop by 20% across the board in 2025, sparking further discussion in the industry. Netizens have commented that the price of EVs are inflated. For the price of a Nissan X-Trail, one could only buy a small electric vehicle with a range of 200 kilometers, and in reality, it only delivers a range of about 100 kilometers. This raises questions about the value of such vehicles, which are often described as industrial waste. Why are EV prices dropping so rapidly? Why is their depreciation rate so high? Articles from Sina and Yi Che highlight several reasons. First, the EV market has experienced explosive growth in recent years, attracting a surge of companies eager to capitalize on its potential. Traditional fuel car manufacturers have begun transitioning to EVs, while new players have emerged rapidly. This influx of competitors has intensified market competition. Additionally, consumer electronics giants have entered the industry, leveraging smart ecosystems to gain an edge. One smartphone manufacturer's first EV model reportedly secured 500,000 pre-orders, forcing traditional automakers to offer deeper discounts to maintain market share. Meanwhile, the used EV market has expanded by 300%, with a median residual value of 3-year models falling to 45%, putting significant downward pressure on new car prices. Tesla, as the industrial leader, has a unique influence on pricing strategies. When Tesla lowers its prices, other automakers face significant competitive pressure. If they do not follow suit, consumers may opt for Tesla's products based on price alone, leading to a loss of market share. Additionally, the EV industry is in a phase of rapid innovation. Advances in battery, motor, and electronic control technologies continue to drive improvements in production efficiency and cost reduction. Battery manufacturing processes have become more refined, increasing production efficiency and lowering unit costs. Automakers and battery manufacturers are working closely to develop batteries tailored to different vehicle models. At the same time, large-scale supply agreements have strengthened automakers' bargaining power in battery procurement, further reducing costs. In 2024, the price of lithium carbonate batteries plummeted to 80,000 yuan per ton, a 75% drop from its peak, yet this reduction has not been fully passed on to the consumers. Financial reports from major automakers show that their average gross margin has fallen to 12%, down 15 percentage points from 3 years ago. For instance, one emerging EV brand faces a production cost of 180,000 yuan per vehicle, yet its retail price has dropped below 170,000 yuan, creating a vicious cycle of losing 20,000 yuan or more per unit sold. The overall decline in EV prices has forced automakers to continuously reduce costs. As a core component of electric vehicles, battery costs account for more than 40% of the total vehicle cost. Third, the structural oversupply in the power battery sector has also contributed to the price reductions. As the EV market grows rapidly, battery production has increased significantly. This surplus has weakened the bargaining power of battery suppliers, forcing them to lower prices to gain market share. Finally, the intense competition in the EV market has made price cuts a common strategy. However, price wars alone cannot ensure long-term competitiveness. Only those companies that can continuously lower costs and improve product competitiveness are likely to succeed in the long run. Other contributing factors include the reduction of subsidies and international trade conditions. After national subsidies were phased out, local governments faced financial strain, leading to a 60% reduction in the issuance of consumption vouchers. Subsidies for charging station construction have shifted to operational support, causing the pace of new installations to decline by 28% year over year. Meanwhile, the price of carbon credit transaction has fallen below 2,000 yuan per point, effectively eliminating their financial benefit for automakers. The EU's anti-subsidy investigation has raised tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles to 28%, cutting export growth in half in 2024. In North America, new market entry regulations have barred 70% of Chinese automakers, rapidly closing the window for overseas expansion. As a result, the pressure to redirect sales to the domestic market has intensified competition by 2 to 3 times. Regarding overcapacity, data shows that by the end of 2024, China's EV capacity utilization rate has fallen below 60%, with the industry's inventory cycle extending to 68 days. According to the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, 420 new models were registered in 2024, yet only 3 surpassed 1 million units in sales. The situation is even more severe in the power battery sector, where total inventory exceeds 200 gigawatts, enough to equip 3 million standard range vehicles, creating immense pressure to absorb idle capacity. A report from Carbon Brief, a UK-based climate organization, noted that from 2019 to 2023, China's electric vehicle exports, including foreign brands like Tesla, grew by a factor of 160, fueling concerns about overcapacity. Davy J. Wong, a US-based economist who closely follows China's EV industry, told Radio Free Asia, according to international standards, an industry with a capacity utilization rate below 80% is already experiencing overcapacity. China's EV industry is currently at 60 to 70%, approaching the critical threshold for severe overcapacity. Amid multiple pressures, how will the EV industry develop in 2025? Some analysts believe that 2025 may mark a turning point for the industry. 1. Leading companies will dominate the 150,000 to 200,000 yuan mainstream market with the vertical integration capabilities. 2. Second-tier brands will be forced to shift focus to the 80,000 to 120,000 yuan market segment. 3. The elimination rate of smaller players will exceed 30%. The price of lithium iron phosphate models will drop to around 120,000 yuan, while the high-end pure electric market shrinks to just 7% of the total market share. Intelligent features will shift from premium selling points to standard configurations, with automakers accelerating their profit models towards software and services. One netizen commented, "For car manufacturers, this industry is harder than the journey to the West. Whether electric cars are truly worth buying, everyone has their own scale of judgment. The car industry's competition is even more intense than palace power struggles." However, despite the bitter state of the EV industry, there is one critical issue: quality. In a video, a female car owner can be heard repeatedly screaming in pain as her hand is trapped by the rear trunk of an EV. Despite attempting to open it with a remote control, she is unable to free herself. In the end, she has to forcefully pry the trunk open with her other hand to escape. The smart remote control system of EVs seems to leave much to be desired. In another instance, a male influencer, while promoting an EV, ends up getting locked in the car's trunk. "You want me to demonstrate again? The key is on the ground. I've already told you. This is the last try. Don't tell me you didn't see it. Brothers, come on. Close it. All good. It's pitch black." At this point, the host starts giving commands to the electric vehicle, and the car responds. "Princess, open the trunk."
Confirm opening the trunk.
Confirm. Confirm opening the trunk." The car doesn't respond. The man gets a little anxious and shouts again. "Princess,
What is it?
open the trunk. But the car still doesn't respond. "Princess,
I'm listening.
open the trunk."
Confirm opening the trunk.
Confirm. The car still did not respond. The man called out "Princess" once more, repeating the command to open the trunk, but the car remained unresponsive. After at least 2 more attempts, the trunk finally opened. With a voice tinged with desperation and breathlessness, the man exclaimed, "I'm dying from heat. I'm dying from the heat." Beyond the voice control issues, there are also significant quality concerns with the vehicle's structural framework. The glamorous exterior, but when you peel it away, it's hard to look at. After all, we can't even see the anti-collision steel beam on the door. Let me show you the thickness and volume. Is it shocking? See this? I'm afraid I'll cut my hand. Let me show you the bottom, brothers. Look at the width and thickness. A bit bigger. See that? I don't even dare to apply pressure. I'm afraid I'll break it. We can't afford that. It's strange, you know. I've had an apple for over 20 days, and it's still not bad, still shiny. Brothers, just ignore the process. We're only testing the authenticity of this apple. Oh, look, the apple's real. I always believe we won't deceive our own people. We don't know each other. It's either a $5 million deal or a lawyer's letter. Shocking the world. Look at this. It's already rusted. You guys take a look. There's rust here too. What year is this car from, brothers? You can check. I'm not going to say. December 2023. In the video, the man hesitated to mention the car's brand, fearing potential legal repercussions. It was later revealed the car in question is a BYD. Once hailed as a light of domestic manufacturing, BYD has now become a laughingstock in the Chinese market. The car, which was produced in December 2023, has already started to rust like an antique. In the video, the man uses an apple to test the car's anti-collision steel beam, only for it to immediately show its flaws. With poor quality and a sharp decline in resale value, the future for China's EV industry looks increasingly uncertain. The first quarter of 2025 has just passed, yet the auto website China NEV claims that these cars are no longer new. 2025 is destined to be an even tougher year. 2024 was one of the most turbulent years for the domestic car market. Nearly every player decried the intense competition, yet all continue to engage in fierce price wars. The year began with Hi-Fi's exit and ended with Jiyue's abrupt collapse, reinforcing the belief that this is not the end, perhaps only the beginning of a brutal battle. The Deep Blue SL03, ranked 50th, had monthly sales of 4,500 units, marking a critical survival threshold in the new energy vehicle market. Models failing to reach this level face a high risk of elimination. In today's market, even 5,000 units per month is no longer a safe benchmark. This is especially true for brands with only one or two models priced between 10,000 and 20,000 yuan. They must be particularly vigilant about market risks. The automotive industry is a textbook example of economies of scale, long cycles, and heavy investment. Without scale, the issue isn't just shrinking profits, it's exponentially growing losses. A decline in sales directly leads to a decline in profitability. In the past, some major manufacturers boasted about their global presence, strong cash flow, and ability to sustain prolonged battles in the EV market, outperforming new automakers. However, by 2024, even top domestic brands are calling for fewer price wars and reduced losses, an ironic yet widely shared sentiment across the industry. Traditionally, the automotive industry operated on 4 to 5 year cycles, but today, this has been compressed to just 1 or 2 years. However, updates to core components still take about 3 to 4 years. Market competition is largely determined in the early stages of product planning and positioning, leaving little room for sales strategies to dramatically alter the outcome later. Surviving in a shrinking market is an extreme challenge. For new players, it's a brutal starting point. With limited cash reserves and high debt levels, they struggle to make the bold, high-risk investments needed to stay ahead of the curve. The countdown for the EV market shakeout has only just begun.